On the Atheist Experience, if you're not familiar with it, we like to encourage callers who believe in things, whether it's supernatural, gods, spirituality. It doesn't really matter that much what, to call in and tell us what they believe and why. But we're also open to being challenged ourselves. And that's what the first caller actually wants to do today. Mr. Warlight wants to challenge us on our spirituality. So welcome, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Didn't expect to be accepted so quickly. And how are you?
We're ready for you. Good.
We're doing good. You wanted to challenge us on our spirituality. I think probably the first thing that needs to happen is, I don't know what the hell spirituality is. So what do we mean?
Good question.
Spirituality, again, spirituality is basically, it relates to spirits and souls, basically.
Okay, but neither, I don't want to just completely speak for both of us, but I don't think either Shannon or myself believe in spirits or souls. So how can we, if we don't believe in something, then if spirituality relates to something we don't believe in, then I guess we just don't have any spirituality.
Sure.
You know what? I believe so, but also I think it's good to be open to it. Open to its possible existence, you know?
Hang on. So first of all, neither of us said we weren't open to it. And if you're calling to challenge us on our views on spirituality, and you say that it relates to something that neither of us believe in, that doesn't tell you whether or not we're open. How would you go about demonstrating? Because I'm open to believing anything, provided there's evidence for it. So what evidence do we have that there are spirits or souls?
Well, man, I don't believe I believe there's possible evidence. I don't believe there's any evidence. I don't think you should believe it.
In that case, we'll just move on. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling. All right. So welcome to the Atheist Experience. When we talk about what you believe and why, and if you say that you don't believe there's any evidence, but there's possible evidence, I'm no longer going to waste our viewers' time on that, because the time to believe something is when there's actual evidence and not just someone being convinced there's possible evidence. Possible evidence doesn't prove anything. And you being convinced there's possible evidence doesn't even prove that there is possible evidence, let alone evidence. So if you're just going to admit right off the bat that you don't have good evidence for it, we can move on.
I'm ready for that, especially with the soul, because I think there's direct counter evidence that would need to be surmounted in order to get to the point that it's even plausible. And that would be a hard road to hoe for me, really. Honestly,
it's something that I think, Shannon and I could both speak about for a long time. Shannon more so and with more knowledge than me, but I'm on the record as saying the concept of a soul is the single most obviously dead idea in all of theism, because everything that historically people have pointed to the soul as, well, this is what the soul is either an identifiable function of a brain, or it doesn't exist as anything identifiable. So it's like my identity.
Or it can't overcome. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Or it can't overcome the interaction problem. Right? Like it can't overcome the interaction problem at all. You're just multiplying entities at that point. You're just making more complex problems in order to hold to an idea, as opposed to utilizing something that has some sort of explanatory power. Because the interaction problem is huge when it comes to the soul. Like dualism can't overcome it. Anyway, we can go on to the next call, because
we can, although I really didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that to end quite so quickly, because that was Mr. Warlight who called in last week. And when they either got disconnected or hung up, they went in chat and said that the call screeners weren't willing to have them back on, or were scared of them, or something like that. And I really wanted to ask him why he lied. So my apologies for hanging up before I could ask why he's a liar.